Welcome to Fierce and 8 human errors that caused a major accident. Before we begin, be sure to hit that subscribe button. The Chernobyl disaster. The Chernobyl disaster is the worst nuclear accident in history. The nuclear power plant is located in the city of Pripyat in the Ukraine. It was under the direct command of the Soviet Union officials when the disaster occurred. On April 26, 1986, the system's test was being performed when a reactor number 4 had a spike in energy which caused the core to detonate. Radioactive material shot up into the air and it spread over the western USSR and Europe. It was found that 31 people were killed and the people in the city of Pripyat had to evacuate immediately, leaving all of their belongings behind. After an investigation, it was found that human error was the reason for the accident. Before the test was conducted, an employee disabled an automatic shutdown mechanism. Had they not done this, the system would have shut down as soon as it overheated. Today, the reactor is encased in a large concrete sphere. The area remains off limits to everyone but the 15,000 Ukrainians who were hired to perform maintenance and research. The Space Shuttle Columbia disaster. On February 1, 2003, the Space Shuttle Columbia disintegrated over Texas and Louisiana when it was re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. All 7 crew members on the shuttle died. They were on a mission to help build the International Space Station. It happened because the shuttle lost pieces of insulation when it entered the atmosphere. After the disaster, all space operations were put on hold for 2 years and an investigation was started. When the shuttle was taken off, NASA personnel on the ground noticed that a piece of thermal insulation hit the left wing when the shuttle was taken off. Unfortunately, the crew was never notified. The heads of NASA decided that there wasn't much that the astronauts could do to fix the problem while they were in space. Instead, they decided to cross their fingers and hope that nothing would happen. If they had ordered a spacewalk repair or a rescue mission, which could have been dangerous, but it could have saved the life of all the crew members. Overfishing. In Thailand, fishing is a huge industry. Since there are so many people fishing, it is necessary to find a way to get the fish to breed faster. The officials in Thailand decided to dump 27 army tanks into the water along with old train cars and garbage trucks. They wanted these things to create an artificial reef for marine plants and animals to multiply. Many people believe that this was a mistake, as the vehicle will rust, creating a dangerous environment for the fish and other marine life. Bangladesh building collapse. The Bangladesh building collapse was the most deadly structural failure and the deadliest garment factory incident in history. On April 24, 2014, an 8-story building collapsed. The day before, reporters noticed cracks in the foundation and the building was evacuated. The next day, it was business as usual. The owners of the companies who worked in the building told their employees to come to work or their pay would be docked. The power was cut to the building and the generators kicked on, allowing the employees to continue working. At 8:57 a.m., the building collapsed. It took 3 weeks for rescuers to sort through the rubble and 1,129 people died in the incident. The building's owners was arrested and is now in jail pending charges. Had the workers been allowed to stay home that day, nobody would have perished in the collapse. Controlled burn gone wrong. Many forest management services use controlled burns to reduce hazards and the possibility of wildfires. Controlled burns are often conducted during the colder months and they're overseen by firefighters and forest officials. A controlled burn was conducted in May of 2000 near Los Alamos, New Mexico. Unfortunately, it was performed during a time of drought on a very windy day. The fire quickly got out of control and it burned for over a month. In the process, 400 homes in the town were destroyed and over 48,000 acres of forest were destroyed in the fire. It came dangerously close to the Los Alamos National Weapons Laboratory. Had the fire reached the building, it could have had catastrophic results. In the end, the fire caused over $1 billion in property damage. The explosion of the Space Shuttle Challenger. On January 28, 1986, while millions of American students were watching on television at school and millions of adults were watching from the ground and on television, the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded in the air right after takeoff over Cape Canaveral in Florida. The ship exploded into a fireball and fell into the ocean, killing everyone on board. One of the crew members was Christopher McAuliffe, who was supposed to be the first teacher in space. After investigation, it was found that an O-ring seal in a rocket booster disintegrated during takeoff. This caused hot gas to spill over the fuel tank. It was found that the usually cold weather compromised the O-ring. Also, the company that created the boosters warned NASA that there could be a booster failure, but they chose to ignore the warning. Shuttle missions were stopped for 2 years while new safety features were designed. American Airlines Flight 587. This is one of the most horrific of the 8 human errors that caused a major accident. In 2001, just 2 months after the attacks, American Airlines Flight 587 crashed in a neighborhood in Queens, New York. All 260 people on board as well as 5 people on the ground were killed. It was initially believed that the plane went down in another terrorist attack. After an investigation though, it was found that the plane crashed due to the pilot's error. It was discovered that he overused the rudder controls in response to heavy turbulence, which caused the plane to crash. Deadliest US hot air balloon crash. On July 30, 2016, a hot air balloon pilot set off with 15 passengers on what was supposed to be a relaxing ride. After the balloon struck a high voltage power line, the balloon caught fire and crashed to the ground. All of the people in the balloon died. At first, the cause of the crash was unknown. However, after an investigation, it was discovered that the pilot had 7 medications in his system at the time of the crash. 3 of them included Valium, Oxycontin, and Ritalin. It is believed that this is the reason the pilot was not able to avoid the power lines. Well, that concludes 8 human errors that caused a major accident. Let us know what you thought in the comments down below. Be sure to check out more videos here at Fierce. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe. And as always, stay fierce.